do sounds and noises affect your parrot? Let's find out in this video. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Parrot Teacher. I'm Dave and today we are talking about sounds, noises and background noise and how it impacts your parrot. There are so many sounds in our environments, in the wild environment, they all have an impact on our parrot and cause various reactions to stimuli. I thought it was very interesting to see how it can be beneficial to our parrot, how it can cause behavioural problems, and how sometimes it can cause stress in them, because noises are a big part of our parrot's lives, just like us with music and other sounds, and I really wanted to explore a topic with you guys today. I'll start off with some of the more detrimental elements that noise can play in your parrot's life, and the very first one is stress and fear responses. Sudden loud noises, for example fireworks, repetitive loud noises like the washing machine or other thumps and bangs can be very stressful for your parrot, especially if they're not really used to them. They don't know anything about them. These sudden noises can cause lots of stress and fear responses, and it's completely normal for them. For example, with a cockatiel, if they hear a sudden noise, their natural response is going to be to take off and fly, regardless of what the source of that noise is, because it's a defense mechanism that's instinctive, so they want to be safe, and that causes stress. You see the same with conures and biting and sudden reactions there. So it can be helpful to be very mindful of noises and sudden noises. For example, maybe don't have your parrot out when the washing machine is on. Maybe be aware when the window cleaner is coming along, because they may be thumping on the windows. There are things you can do to help, which I'll talk about later in this video. But yeah, noise can be very stressful for our parrots. Noises can also be very overstimulating. If you've got a conure of any type, you must know that sudden noises, repetitive noises can be overstimulating. It may cause them to start posturing. I don't know why I'm posturing as well. I'm not like that, maybe. They can start posturing. They can even redirect their aggression and start biting you. Conures especially, and we've found this just time and time again, it's not even a theory, it's just true. Conures are exceptionally overstimulated by loud noises. Vibrations, loud noises, repetitive noises, droning noises can get them very wound up. So that's something else that really is important to be aware of in your environment. And that's not just conures, other parrots can be exactly the same. What impact are noises having on your parrot's behaviour? Are there noises that are making them want to bite? Are there noises that are making them overstimulated? There's even some people who suggest that some noises can create hormonal situations, although I'd probably argue against that one. And don't forget as well, other vocalisations from other parrots, that can be overstimulating and exciting. When one starts, they all start. So it's all things that are important to keep in mind when you've got a parrot and what impact that noise plays in their life. Oh, and before I forget, our voices, our booming voices are massive impact. Like my voice can be very overstimulating if I am talking passionately. Pickles gets very excited. There's loads of videos of conures like darting around and stuff when people talk loudly. They're not really agreeing with you or anything, they're just getting very excited by your voice. So sometimes it can help to be aware of that and keep your voice nice and level and quiet when you're doing training and the like. I would love to give a huge thanks to Northern Parrots for sponsoring this video. Northern Parrots is the UK's best bird supplier in my opinion, and we've been shopping with them for ages. They frequently have lovely sales and offers on. If you sign up to their newsletter, you can get 10% off, and they are our favourite shop. So thank you very much again, Northern Parrots, for sponsoring this video. There'll be a link in the description where you can check them out too. I talked about some of the detrimental ways that noise can play, or sound can play, part in your parrot's life, but there's also loads of great ways it can help enrich your parrot's life and provide fun. We frequently use something called conditioned calm to encourage calm both at bedtime and other times during the day. I've got a video on it which I'll leave a card for now. Conditioned calm is a really useful technique which doesn't require any sort of active effort from you other than putting some sounds on, and it can be very relaxing, very soothing for them if they are in a stressful situation, or if they're being excessively noisy, it can help you out too. You can use sounds to help create calm environments and to help stimulate calm and relaxation in your parrot. Other background noises can create enrichment. For example, lots of parrots like music, classical music, dance music, all sorts. It depends on your parrot's personality. They can find music very enriching, so it can be very helpful to put that sort of sound on. And at this point, a lot of people ask me about bird sounds. Now, if it's very quiet background bird sounds, like for example rainforest music, that's completely fine. But if you're using like a cockatiel companion where there's a cockatiel constantly screaming and you've got a solo bird, that can maybe stress them out a little bit because they're trying to respond and there's not a bird there. it's got to be used responsibly. So I'd recommend more background sounds to give them enrichment rather than dedicated bird sound. You can actually use sounds to desensitize your parrot, like I talked about earlier in the video I was alluding to. You can use some scary sounds at lower volumes or at more distance to get your parrot used to them, so when they do occur, they're less scared. For example, we put firework videos on with a lower volume and then slowly turned it up over successive sessions, so our birds will be less bothered by fireworks when they went off. These are things you can do to help desensitize your parrot. Similar with bird sounds, you can do the same. If you've got crows or magpies, their sounds can be very scary. You can get them used to those sounds as well through this desensitization method, using distance, using volume, to slowly, gradually desensitize them to these different things. And last but not least, sounds can be used in training. We use our voice or clickers to mark various things in training and for behaviours. They vocalize with each other constantly and we vocalize with them constantly, for example whispering to encourage calm. We use sound in so many different ways and so do they. So if we can get a vague idea of what those sounds mean in them, and I've got videos on that, especially for conures and cockatiels and some more general ones, we can start to understand a little bit about what they're trying to say, because it is a language. It may not be as complex as what we use, but they are conveying meaning and they are letting us know about various things. The more we're aware of it, the better it is for them and us. If you have any comments or questions, I'd love to hear from you down below. But in the meantime, take care and see you later.